What's going on, everybody? It's your man Cleveland Terry, and today we are at In Music Rane headquarters in Rhode Island, and I am happy to be here. I've never been to the Rane studio, but because I was at Harvest of Sound in Boston, it's only about an hour away. So my guy Jason from Rane brought me here to take a look at the Rane 4. Now, I got my first review of it on Friday. We went through all the specs and all the details, and that was great. And I could have made a video there, but when I knew I was coming here, I said it's better if I could get a hands-on feel for this particular device. And I'm gonna tell you, this is just an initial review. This is actually not even in real manufacturing yet. They just started manufacturing it, so it's not even gonna be released for a couple of months. But they do have a couple of copies, kind of all through the world. Mojax has one, a few other people have one. So I didn't get one this time. I will be getting one when they finally get to retail. They'll be sending me one for a long-term review. But in general, this is the first time I've actually experienced this. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been really, really impressed by what I'm seeing. Everything is laid out the way it's supposed to. The feel of it is really good. The implementation of stems, because that's a really big feature here. And I do want to point out that Serato's been working on stems for quite some time, and this machine was kind of going hand in hand with the release of Serato stems, Serato 3.0. The machine is not ready yet, but stems is ready to go, so they wanted to make this kind of dual announcement at the same time. But the good news is that while people are utilizing it, while people are testing it out, if some things pop up that we see over the next couple of months, they can do some firmware updates, they can make the adjustments so that when it finally goes to retail, it's as perfect a product as it needs to be. Now, let's take a look at some of the things I really like about this. Again, it's a 4-channel mixer, although it's kind of a hybrid 4-channel because a lot of the channels double for other things, mainly the stems. So when you have decks 1 and 3 right here, when you apply the stem split, which is a feature that is exclusive for the moment to the Rane 4, it's going to split out the instrumental and the acapella, which means that you're gonna have acapella on deck 1 and you're gonna have the full instrumental beat on deck 3, allowing you to manipulate the music even better. I can only imagine what people are going to do with this additional feature, because I think that this is going to be, it's going to give you what I think a lot of people were missing from stems, especially if you compare it to like a virtual DJ or an algorithm DJ, and that is you're limited in how you can use the stem effects. Like, it works great. The way they've implemented it's very good, but what if I don't want to use a beat breaker? What if I want to just, take the bass out myself? Or what if I just want to have the audio be a little lower? You don't have those options here. Now you do. And it's going to open up a lot of doors for creativity for a lot of people out there. Stems alone is going to create a lot of new things. First and foremost, it's probably going to bring a lot of bad mashups into the world, but we'll get past that. If that's too much for you, you still have the option of going just first off a dedicated acapella or instrumental button. But you still have access to your regular stems, and you have the 8 pads here, 4 for removing the vocal, the melody, the bass, or the drums, and then the FX vocal, the instant EQ, the breaker, the drum echo out. Another one of the features that this one has that I haven't seen on anything else is there is a dedicated sampler knob. I know you Rane people are always freaked out, especially like the Rane 1 did not have a dedicated sampler knob, but you can also push over your sampler audio to deck 4 for real EQing of your samples. And that's what I'm saying here. So even though it's a 4-channel mixer, a lot of the features are being utilized for other things. So I don't know that I wouldn't personally use it as a 4-channel mixer, knowing all the features that it has here. In reality, it's probably more of a 2-channel enhanced mixer, because you're going to be using these things for dedicated things. Now, can you use them for additional line inputs? Yes. Keep in mind, you can only use 2 line ins, so you can't use all 4. So if you were trying to do, 4-deck external mixing, you're not going to be able to do that with this. Only 2 are dedicated to this. Again, no real auxiliary, so you have to use one of the channels for the auxiliary. For some people, it's going to be a little bit of an issue, but for most people, it should be fine. Usually when you're running through your aux anyway, you want to have access to all of your EQs. You want to be able to really, push it. You have your 1/4 inch booth, which is actually a little bit different. The Rane 1 had XLR booths, and I really did appreciate the XLRs. But they decided to go 1/4 inch for any number of reasons. I can live with it, but it would have been great if they had XLRs for that. This is a true standalone mixer, so the effects and everything can be used with your line ends. They can be used without the computer being on. This is a true standalone effects board, and I appreciate them for putting in here. A lot of the things that were kind of lacking on the Rane 1, they have put into the Rane 4, and I'm very, very happy about that. Obviously, if you look at the design cues here, feels a little bit like one of my favorite mixers, which is the Rane 70, and it takes a lot of its cues from that, all the way from the effects panel right here, to the knobs and the channel effects. Everything kind of feels like that. Again, Rane 70 in my book is probably one of the best laid out mixers out there, so it would make sense that they would try to put that in here. I hope that design element funnels through to all of their more high-end mixers, like whatever Rane MK2, 72, 82 they have coming out. Dropping down below here, you do have your Mag 4 fader, and you do have your faders up here. Faders are good. They're definitely a little more resistant. They feel better. They feel about the same as the Rane 1. I'm not gonna lie. One of the biggest things that people are going to complain about, I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are letting on, and that is the Rane 4 does not have moving platters. Yes, the Rane 1 came out with moving platters, so it makes sense, and I understand why people are saying this, because for a lot of DJs, Rane was a true DJ equipment, all the way down from their mixers to the Rane 12s and then the Rane 1. And then they came up with this without moving platters. So for a lot of people, they're saying, why would you do this? I'm gonna tell you, I'm a big fan of moving platters, but these platters feel very good. These are the best feeling platters that I have felt, besides, maybe the DDJ 1000. They're 8.5 from all the way down to the adjustment base around here, but there's a lot of room. The feel is really good. Now, of course, look, I'm not Scratch Bastard or Jazzy Jeff, so they might have a different opinion, but in general, as far as jogs go, these feel really, really clean. Sound out of the board, it's Rane. You're gonna get the quality that you're expecting from the board. One of the things that I do like, it's been found on other products, but this is the first time I've seen it on a Rane product, and that is you can do dual pads. So if I hold down hot cue and stems, I have access to both my pads and my stems. Love that. And then you have your effects, and they've added on some new effects, which are great. Big fan of what I'm seeing here. The effects are good. Everything kind of flows nicely. The sound is good. Right off of my first reaction to it, it's a good board. It's a really good board. Now, there are no prices yet because, like I said, it's just that new. But there are no prices. They don't know exactly what they're gonna charge, but you guys know what the going price for something like this is, around there. You can assume that it's probably gonna sit around the price that's in your head. But when I do get my board and I can do more of a long-term review of it, I will have an update for you. But besides that, so far, so good. Let me know in the comments what you think about this board. Let me know what your feeling is about the fact that there are no moving platters. I know that's a hot spot for a lot of people out there, but I'm telling you right now, it's nowhere near as bad as people think. These are really, really good jogs. So at least at a minimum, the jogs feel good. Would it have been nice to have moving platters? Of course, but it would have added a lot of weight too. And this board sits at about 18 pounds, so it's definitely much lighter than like the Rane 1, which is just a 2-channel, but that's about 23 or 24 pounds. One of the things I do love, they're keeping the space beneath it, which allows you to run your cords through for a nice clean setup. It's elevated. You can get it away from the heat elements. It gives it room to breathe. I'm a big fan of the feet. And on the front end, there are these bumpers right here, which you're not going to be able to see, but I think I can see it from my camera. There are these bumpers which allow for a little more space in your case if you decide to have a case. I'm a soft case guy, so we'll have to find a new case for this one. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Put it in the chat below. If you found what I said useful, hit that like button. If you found what I said really useful, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on the Instagrams and the Twitter. Get on my Discord, because that's where we're talking about all things Cleveland Terry. Guys, girls, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure being at the In Music. If I don't talk to you later, we'll talk soon. Peace.